Hey everybody, Claudia from the Wee Garden Homestead here. It is a new year, and what better way to bring in the new year than to give you a recap of my 2025 quilts. So this is what I have coming up. It's a recap of all 25 for 2025. I did make it to 25. A couple things I have planned coming up for next year for 2026. Maybe not as many quilts, but more sewing projects, more I have a thing for upcycling, so maybe more upcycling clothes and things like that. Maybe more making clothes. I'm just not sure. I do know it probably won't be as many quilts, and it'll be other sewing projects. So stay tuned for that in 2026. Thanks so much for joining me. Without further ado, let's recap 2025's 25 quilts. Thank you. Okay, so I do have notes, so hopefully we can make it through this. So the first one was Megan's graduation quilt. This was for a young lady that had cancer a couple years ago. I made a chemo quilt for her, and she was cancer-free, went back to school, and graduated from nursing school. So I made this graduation quilt for her, and gave it to her on her graduation day. I also made this matching bag so that I had something to put that quilt in. She was very glad to have it, and she is just a sweet, wonderful girl, and I'm so glad I could do this for her. Next up is a baby quilt for a lady I work with and her son. Her son used to work there, so it was for her son and his wife. And this was just a baby quilt that I put together. This was a 3-yard quilt pattern. It was from 3-Yard Quilts in a Jiffy, and it was called Button Box was the name of the pattern. Don't forget I do have videos for all of these. Next up was a heart scrap quilt made from what I had left from that quilt that I just finished. This one was just to show how I did the hearts, and again, there is a video for it. This one was donated to Victory Junction for the children there. Next up was my grandson's, probably my last grandson's baby quilt. This one was gifted in March. He was born the middle of March. The pattern is by Apples and Beavers, and it's called Dragon Dreams. And this was one of the first patterns like this I'd followed. It was very easy, much easier than I thought, and I'm just tickled with the way it came out. This next one was a birthday quilt for a very good friend. She is a big Star Trek fan. It is a 3-yard quilt pattern. It was from the Double Focus book, and it's called Treasured. And she did comment to me that this was the coolest birthday gift ever. So that made me feel really good. I love it when they show that they're thrilled with their quilts. The next one coming up is Salty's Chemo Quilt. This was my own pattern. I did buy the fabric on eBay. The fabric line was called Sand Trap. It was a panel that I cut apart and put the blue in, and it was by Wilmington Prints. This one was truly a labor of love for him. And he is one of these people that is never cold, and although he took it with him a couple times, I don't think he ever actually used it, which is fine. At least he had it if he needed it. So next up was a scrap pinwheel quilt. I had done these pinwheels a few years ago as I was working out the size I needed to cut the squares to make a pinwheel for another project. And I just pulled these out and put them together. I just filled in the spots with some white on white. And this one also went to Victory Junction for the children there. This next one was the Scrappy Sawtooth Stars. This was the first time I did the Sawtooth Stars. It came out very good. I was very happy with it. Salty absolutely loved it. This one was donated to Victory Junction also. And Salty commented while it was hanging on the wall that he really liked it, and he was surprised I was giving it away. So there is another Sawtooth Star one later on. It is a little different and a little bigger, and that one I kept. But this one went to Victory Junction. I'm very happy with it. This one was definitely scrappy, and it came out very good, very cute, very cute. Okay, so number 9 is a scrap quilt that I made from scraps from the quilt show. and I did a video series on these. These were included in some of my Whip It Wednesdays. So basically I just took the 5-inch square in the middle and I went around it with 2.5-inch strips, and then I just put those together. This was given to a friend with cancer as a chemo type quilt. She's not doing chemo, she was doing immunotherapy, but she said it was very, very cold in there. So she was happy to have this quilt to snuggle under while she was getting her treatments. The next one up is called Going to the Dogs. I named it that. It was a donation quilt. It went to the Friends of Wake County Animal Shelter annual auction. This was a 3-yard quilt pattern, and this was the first time I had done raw edge applique. It is from the Quick as a Wink 3-yard quilt book, and the name of the pattern was In a Flash. I did that little paw print on the back. I was very pleased with the way it turned out. Like I said, first time doing the raw edge applique. All right, number 11, the blue and white sawtooth star. This one was inspired by the other sawtooth star one that Salty really wanted me to make another one. The back was just a scrappy back, and that used up the last of some of the fabrics that I had from Mom. So I definitely kept this one. It was just the white on white backgrounds with the different blues. I did throw in a couple pops of yellow. This one was just a lot of fun to make. I do love making those sawtooth stars. And there's the back.
Go.
So the next one is a baby quilt for one of my bosses, for his daughter. This was his first grandbaby. This was a 3-yard quilt. These were Joann's clearance fabrics. This was a 3-yard quilt. It was from the Quick as a Wink book, and the pattern was called Roman Holiday. This one was a lot of fun to make. It went together very quickly. When they say quick as a wink, they really are. This one did go together very quickly. I was very pleased with it. He just about cried when I gave it to him to give to his daughter. His daughter was just smitten with it also. This is another baby quilt for a coworker. And this was my own pattern. I just took that, cut the big squares, and then I cut smaller squares and bordered them and then put them all together. It was pretty simple, quick, and easy baby quilt, and they really appreciated it for their little baby boy. Next up was a 21st birthday gift for my oldest granddaughter. This was a double Irish chain. I did make it queen size, and yeah. Moving right along. This was for Brittany's fundraiser. I do this one every year. It's called Brittany's Blessings. This was my second time with the raw edge applique. I also quilted around it to kind of make it pop on the back side. This was my first Bargello quilt, and I'm very pleased with the way it came out. I did draw this one out on my own, and that was it. Let's see, Dr. Seuss. These Dr. Seuss fabrics came from my Missouri Star books, and this one was I made quilt kits from it. I have videos on that. This one was donated to local foster kids under my very own blanket.com. I got the labels from them. This one is the same type of quilt kit, also donated to local foster kids under my very own blanket.com. That is what they do, is they donate to foster kids. Let's see, we're moving on to number 18. This was a quilt top I found when I was cleaning out my sewing room. It was already put together. It was ready to go. I just had to make a sandwich and quilt it. It is all Avengers fabrics, just kind of thrown together. This one also went to local foster kids under my very own blanket. Moving on, number 19, Project Jelly Roll. This was Project Jelly Roll by Moda, and this was one of their patterns. It's a free pattern. If you just go to Project Jelly Roll by Moda, you can find a bunch of free patterns there. They're very easy to do. This one is called Anasazi, and I kept this one. This one I'm very tickled with. It was all batiks, and then the gray on gray and the gray on white backgrounds.
Okay.
Okay, number 20, another donation quilt for foster children. This was again one of my quilt kits. This one was all sunflowers. I just thought this was really cute. These fabrics all came from Missouri Star in my end of bolt boxes. So those of you who think you can't do anything with end of bolt boxes with those smaller pieces of fabric, you absolutely can. I'm just in love with this one. This one, again, another donation quilt for foster children. This one, the llamas came from Hobby Lobby. I got them on clearance last year with Jocelyn. And then the other fabrics came from Missouri Star. So that was another one of those little quilt kits I made. That was number 21. So 22 was the Hearts and Mermaids. This one is not quite finished. It hasn't been bound, and please ignore, I didn't have just regular pictures to show you, so my talking does not match up with what you're looking at. I put this one off because I wasn't sure if I was going to fix that one block, but the vote was leave it, because we all make mistakes, and it's for kids quilt, and who knows if anybody will notice it or not. And you know, again, we all make mistakes, so I am going to just leave that in there. I do need to quilt it and bind it and get it donated. That'll be coming up probably pretty soon. Okay, this one also still needs to be quilted and bound. This one is number, I've lost my place, number 23. This was scraps from the pink box from the, oh my goodness, it was the scraps from the pink box from Barbara. So, yeah, this one needs to be finished. Okay, now next, I wasn't sure if I was going to count this one. This was the quilt top I put together for Sew It Forward. This one has been finished and it has been delivered. So between this quilt top, the blocks I made for this one, and the butterfly blocks that I made for the other quilt top that my sister put together, these butterfly blocks, between the two, I figured I would count that as one. It was enough work that I could have done a whole quilt of my own. So these were the butterfly blocks that I put together for that quilt. I don't have pictures. I can probably get pictures of that quilt finished. I will try to post them at some point if I can find them, but I didn't finish that quilt top, so I don't have those pictures. But these are the butterflies. I will definitely be doing these butterflies again. I really liked them. I enjoyed them. I thought they were great. And so yeah, we're counting that as number 24. Okay, next up is this deer panel quilt. So it was a Realtree deer panel I got at Alma Sue's in Sarasota. And I made the sawtooth star blocks to go around it with a border, gifted it to my 17-year-old grandson on Christmas morning, and he was very happy with it. So that's it for me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Have a happy new year.